It's hard to get them smalls filled. Okay, so I'm finna go change now.
You scratching like you itching.
Welcome to the SoSo Chronicles. Yes, this is the Queen of Commentary coming to you, letting you know that we have some tea. And today we're going to talk about Miss SoSo Shanel. This video is about 2020. Yeah, that's when she was telling some of the greatest stories. And she talks about some things. I'm going to go ahead and have some commentary as we go. All right. But just to let you guys know, it's talking about her Lash Box and some other things. So, yeah. Welcome to the SoSo Chronicles.
That was from over there. I had that one little... That's why I was like, put that candle by me. Yeah, so she go down in the SoSo Hall of Fame for real and not in a bad way. That was a lesson that I learned because I had to ask myself now. I have removed people from my page for less and more. It hurt. I cried as I was blocking her. It actually gave me joy to go in and unblock her off of her. We had resolved it. We had totally resolved it. And it just... That's the thing about the Lash Box too. The Lash Box became personal for me when... Y'all remember I had this group back in 2019. And in 2019, I had a group. It was like 300 ladies in this group. Those ladies decided that they owned me.
Okay, so if you don't know, she had a group back in the day, okay? And it was, to say the least, a risque group. But the ladies, who joined, they just loved her. And they paid her $25 a month membership fee. And she said she made about $1,000 a month off of it. But, SoSo's a little bit too transparent. Yeah, she's too transparent. She just tells all of her business. And you're going to learn this during the SoSo Chronicles, guys. But she drew a whole bunch of stands. I'm just keeping it real. She grew people who was maybe too much for her. So, yeah, it just made it a little bit uneasy for her to keep, making that money and things like that. But let's get back into the story. I had stopped
to tend to that group. I wasn't going live as much, but my business wasn't declining. So I felt like it was okay. And I felt like that group was teaching me how to take breaks from the live, but now I was just doing it in the live. I was like, oh my God, in the group live. That group turned on me like a rabbit, and it took me months to get over that. Like, it increased my anxiety about being out. Some of them were threatening me, and it was like, this went from something that was supposed to be sisterhood and fun and free and comfortable and non-judgmental to, you don't want to tag me?
Sorry, guys, I had to edit some things out. But basically, she said that the group turned on her like a rabid dog, okay? Ooh, her words are so descriptive. She really does need to write a book. But, so the thing about it is she's so personal and she's so transparent. And she's so, her favorite word would be visceral, And you draw different spirits to you. Yeah, you draw those type of people to you. And, she's just one person, but she has thousands of people watching her. So I can imagine how it increased her anxiety. There's a price to be personable and transparent. And she needs to learn that, Maybe she needs to pull back.
I created a space where these ladies created and formed relationships that they still have. When I ended that group, they posse up and they canceled their lash subscriptions. Now, I was determined to not let that define whether or not my lash subscriptions were going to, not all, Letitia, not all, but a bunch. And at that time, Letitia, I couldn't tell who was who. I was like, everybody. They posse up and they ended their subscription all at one time.
See, that's where she messed up. Things were too personal, because the thing about it is, when you build a whole business off of personal, when they don't like you anymore, you've lost a customer. And so I can understand where she's coming from. Maybe she doesn't understand how true business runs. I've been in business for a while, and the old saying says business and pleasure does not mix. So she tried to mix business and pleasure. You don't do that. And that's where she needs to really kind of like tweak her whole business. Because
some of them were coming back trying to reactivate their subscription, and I was ending it. So what I did is I said, Tiff was like, you gonna let that be the Lash Box? I started promoting the Lash Box more, and I replaced every last one of them with new people. But the Lash Box for me was never the same. The Lash Box for me then turned into when people would get mad at me, they would go and cancel their Lash Box. Because I talked openly about it. And when people would get mad at me, they would go cancel their Lash Box. Because Lash Box really was like, the Lash Box started before anything. It was the t-shirts, the lashes, and the Lash Box. The Lash Box basically gave me the money to start the clothes, the real time big store. So the Lash Box was so near and dear to my heart that I was like, it broke me.
So, honey, I'm going to talk to the saints right now. One thing you do not do is you don't attach your joy to earthly things. Our joy is in heaven. So nothing should break you. And if you are constantly attaching your things to money and fame and material things and your husband and your past and all of that, this explains why she can never find happiness. Okay? That's why we folks who don't have half of what she has monetarily are walking around fine, because we know where our true happiness comes. It comes from God. And our strength is restored by Him as well.
And it wasn't the Lash Box, because I was still selling so much and it was so crazy. Like all of it's been a lesson on focusing on where the love really is. The real love, or is it any of it that's real, or the love that's more lasting and more loyal? I can't really say real. But I said, it's their money and it's their subscription. If they want to cancel it, they cancel it. But in my heart, I knew they did it. I knew they did it as a band of riffraff. And I could never detach that feeling from that Lash Box. And that is about the time that Teeth started doing the Lash Boxes on his own, and I would kind of jump in just to help. But I never wanted to do the Lash Boxes after that. I had a hard time. It used to go from me picking the boxes and designing the boxes well in advance to just doing it just right before the dead cut off, hoping to get here. It took some. They actually was the first. The lashes were just like out of my house. The Lash Boxes moved me into the storage unit. The Lash Boxes and the cut tees, I had to take it out the house. The Lash Boxes forced me to move out of my house. So it was like, it hurt. It hurt so bad. It hurt so bad. People always like, you can't let folks know when they hurt you. I don't hurt me. How much I put in and how much they took out hurt me. I'm fighting off crying right now.
Please don't cry, sis. Oh my Lord, this lady has cried so much that now in present day, when she cries, she can't even get any tears. I have seen this lady actually do a 3 and 4 hour live video and not drink any water. She is so dehydrated. Hydrate. That would actually help calm some of her nerves too. And look, I'm using these videos to actually help the listeners as well. I'm not just making these videos just cause. I'm making these videos to help others, help her followers, understand that this is not acceptable.
But it's like we were talking about earlier today. I definitely didn't overcome it. It definitely still pops up. Every month that I was doing that, when I was sending out the cancellations on that Lash Box, a little piece of me was just becoming lighter. But it was so sad. It was so sad. I started that Lash Box on a cruise. And I had to pray. When I started that Lash Box out the gate, 400 plus people joined it. And they said a good Lash Box have 100. A good subscription box would be at least 100. 100 people could be solid, depending on the price. And it came out so fast, and I was on a cruise, and my brother was being buried, and I couldn't go to the funeral, and I came straight in. We got off of that cruise. We got on the road coming from New Orleans. We came in the house, and I just started building boxes. It was the first box I ever did. I did them in my hallway, in my foyer. The UPS man had dropped them off on our back porch. Japonicas had rolled them into the house. So when I got off the cruise and I got off the road coming from New Orleans, I came right in there and I was like, Lord have mercy. These people believe me. It's 400. We built 400 boxes. It was a mountain of boxes. And I had the lashes already. I had got them from my vendor. Everything was in play. It all happened while I was going on a cruise that I had to go on that I promised my children the whole time my brother was dead and being buried. And I never went to my brother's funeral. I've never seen him dead. And I came back to that Lash Box, and I felt like, even though my brother died and we were at bad terms, everything that happened during that week changed everything. So I felt like, I felt like I got a chance to feel like my brother was doing that. So when they did that to that Lash Box, it changed it for me. It felt like my brother in real life, like my brother. That group to me was like my brothers and my sisters.
See, this is what I'm talking about. This woman single-handedly attached something horrible, awful, and traumatic to something good. Ladies and gentlemen that is listening to this, because I think Miss Shanel is far gone. This may not help her. This may not help her, but hopefully this will help you guys that's listening to this. Do not attach good things to bad. If you know anything about math, a positive and a negative is a negative. Okay? Don't attach your marriage to a death. Don't attach your new business to something traumatic. This doesn't make any sense. Don't do that.
You out, and we out. And matter of fact, we cutting your kids off too. The Lash Box is like my baby. My brothers, my sisters, they cut me off. They cut my children off. I ended that group to protect them, and they cut my children. I said, damn, I got out of it. So a lot of people are sending me emails saying they're just expressing their frustration with why I canceled the Lash Box. And I'm like, damn. People don't even understand why I canceled that Lash Box. They just like trying to reinstate it and stuff. Like, yo, I literally can't do it.
Okay, so she's about to cry. This is an old video, guys. Please don't attach your feelings to this. She is the queen. Look, I'm the queen of commentary. She's the queen of emotional content. Honey, she can make you cry like you're in her position. I've been watching her for years, and I've had to actually cut her off. Like, I don't follow her anymore. I might check on her page now and then, but I mean, she would make you think that you are going through what she's going through. Okay, because, you know, this is a show, guys. You know, I'm not saying this isn't the truth, but honey, she's putting on a show to get you to follow her and to love her and to, you know, she promotes misery. It is what it is.
But I ain't gonna cry now because this ain't that. So my business